بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصليه ورسوله الكريم أما بعد وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الجنة تحت أقدام الأمهات أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. A person once came to a very knowledgeable professor who knew a lot of things. And she said to him, "Oh, professor, it's a question I have." He goes, "Yes, of course." She goes, "If there's a person, can you name me a job where a person is a doctor and they take care of the medical needs of this person? So this person is a doctor, they're a chef, they cook for the person. They're that person's best friend. They're a teacher to that person and they teach them everything that they know. And they're a tailor, they fix all their clothes and they do everything else. And they're a cook for that person. And they're a cleaner for that person. And they do this for the person, and they do it all day, and they do this job all night. They do this job 24 hours a day. And they have no break, and they have no lunch. And they don't get a penny for doing any of this. And if they stop doing any of these things for that person, the whole system would collapse. That person would be next to dead. So this person is a doctor, friend, teacher, tailor, cook, clean. They do the job in the morning, they do the job at night. They have no break time, they have no lunch time. They don't get paid a single penny, but they have to do it all the time. And if they were to ever stop, that person that they're doing these things for, that person would be destroyed and they'd be finished. Can you name me the person and can you name me a job like this?" The professor goes, "Only an insane person would take a job like this. Only a mad person. That you get paid nothing and you're working like a mad person." What job is this? Who is it? The professor asked, who is it that does this?
Servant.
Not a servant.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu
No.
No.
Your mother. Your mother is all of these things plus more. And no salary, nothing. So if there was to be a summary of this khutbah and of all the things that mothers do, that's it. Basically, everything. They do everything, and most of the time, from most of us, they get nothing in return. Not even thanks. Not even thanks. The first lap of education, the first lap of learning, scholars have mentioned, is the mother's lap. And it's the mothers that generally are with their children throughout their lives. As I mentioned last week, fathers are busy, whatnot, doing different things, but mothers are usually there when you wake up in the morning, you go back home, it's mum. Everything and anything you need to, usually mother's the very first person that you go to. So the rank of the mother is so much that it's even more than the father. But the hadith I quoted at the beginning, Al-Jannatu tahta aqdamil ummahat. Jannah is under the feet of the mother. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated it's under the feet of the mother. About the father, Rasulullah said he is a gate in Jannah. But about the mother, to get to that gate in Jannah, you have to go below your mother's feet. What does that mean? Serving, humbleness, lowering yourself in front of your parents, particularly your mother. Rasulullah has said the feet of the mother is where Jannah is. For the father himself is a gate in Jannah, but for the mother, the Jannah is under her feet. Serving your mother. That's what the Prophet has forbidden anyone to be disrespectful, rude, and to disobey mothers. Far from that, we do the opposite. Shouting, screaming. Sometimes we tell the mothers what to do. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And the mothers and the parents are supposed to be telling us what to do. So this is a sign of the day of judgment. The Prophet said, when a mother gives birth to her master, meaning she gives birth to a child, and that child becomes her master. They tell her what to do. They're becoming the person that is instructing her that you need to do this for me, you need to do that. The Prophet said, once this starts happening, this is a sign of the day of judgment, that the end of time is coming, because the roles have become reversed. Children are now becoming masters over their parents. What about some famous mothers in the Quran? Who can we learn lessons from? Well, there are two that I mentioned specifically. I'll mention both of them. The first one is the mother of a very famous woman. Her name was Hannah. And Hannah alayha salam, when she was pregnant with her child, she said, "Ya Allah, I make a vow that whatever is in my stomach, ma fi batni, whatever I am carrying in my stomach, whatever child this is, I'm going to give it to the service of the mosque." Which mosque was this? Baytul Maqdis, Masjidul Aqsa in Palestine. So she said, whatever child I give birth to, I'm going to give this child to the service of the masjid. And who did she give birth to? Now she was expecting and thinking that it would be a son, and that Allah would accept a dua for a son. It was a girl. And this girl was born. Now do you know who this woman was? She was Maryam alayhi salam, the mother of Isa. So Maryam was dedicated to Masjid al-Aqsa, and it's mentioned she would be sitting in her chamber and she would be doing dhikrullah, and this would bring so much blessings upon the mosque as well. In fact, it's even mentioned that sometimes she would come in, and Zakaria was the person that was put in charge of her. Zakaria alayhi salam was also a prophet of Allah. When he would come in, he would find that it would be the winter season and she would have summer fruits. And when it would be the summer season, she would have winter fruits. And it's not like today where Tesco's and Sainsbury's, they ship it on air jet planes from Africa, unfair trade. No. There was none of that in those days. Whatever grew in the season, you ate. So Zakaria would ask, oh Maryam, where have you got this? قالت هو من عند الله إن الله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب. This is from Allah, and Allah gives it to whoever He wants. So she would be provided with these out-of-season fruits. Why? Because she dedicated herself to Allah in that blessed mosque. But the first person I want to focus in on most is the mother of Musa alayhi salam. It's mentioned about Musa alayhi salam. During his time, in the reign of Fir'aun, the evil tyrant king, Fir'aun was killing all the male sons. Anyone that was born male, he would kill them because he had a dream where a male son would be the one that would be the cause of his downfall. So it's mentioned in the Quran that Musa's mother was inspired. Yuhi. Allah inspired her Himself to take the Musa, young baby that she just given birth to, put him in a basket and put the basket inside the river. Now this was a river that was going down from the palace of Fir'aun, and it was a fast river. The water was rushing. Now can you imagine what must have gone through her heart? She's just given birth to this baby. Even a baby, if you were to see it, put that baby, delicate baby, not even a basket, just a wrap around the cloth in a little kind of box and put this in a rapid water rushing down. She believed in Allah and she did it. But when she did that, she noticed that the basket didn't go down the river, it went up the river. The river water is going down, and it's mentioned the basket started going up, and it went up into the palace of Fir'aun. Musa's mother must have been so worried and petrified. The basket is going into the palace of the man who's killing all of the male children that are born. What's going to happen to Musa? It's mentioned about Musa alayhi salam. Asiya radiallahu anha, she, one of the greatest women of all time, the wife of Fir'aun, she accepted the basket, she took Musa, and they raised Musa in the house of Fir'aun. They raised Musa in the house of Fir'aun. Asiya didn't let Fir'aun touch him. In fact, it's mentioned in one narration, once Fir'aun was sitting with Musa on his lap, 2-year-old Musa. And Fir'aun knew that there was something weird with this Musa. He was the one that was going to be the cause of his downfall. But he never said anything because Asiya loved him and he was in his house. This is, look how Allah protects. It's mentioned once Musa was sitting in his lap, he grabbed Fir'aun's beard like this, the young little 2-3-year-old boy, and he pulled him down and then he slapped him across the face. Fir'aun got up. What the? He says to Asiya, this is the guy that's going to get me. I know this is the kid that's been sent. He's the one that I'm having dreams about. And despite that, he still didn't touch Musa. So Allah can protect you no matter what. Funny little story from this. That's where the name Moses baskets comes from as well. That basket that Musa alayhi salam was put inside of, that basket is now called, and they call the Moses basket because that's the basket that Musa alayhi salam was put inside as well. So what about some strategies about how we can show this respect, love, admiration towards our mothers? Because mothers are very soft and they're very gentle, and it's very easy to take advantage, take your mothers for granted. They're always going to be there, mashallah, their love is unconditional. And children, you know, when you have something and you take advantage of it, you don't value it. It's only when these things are taken away from you, then you start regretting and crying and having remorse that, why didn't you treat your mothers and your parents better? So number one, Rasul has clearly mentioned serving. You are there as a servant to your mother. Your mothers are not there to be servants to you. You should be cleaning. You should be helping with the cooking. You should be doing your own cleaning and washing up. You should be getting your clothes ready in the morning. If mothers do that, they do it out of generosity and love, not out of obligation. It's not their job. Rasulullah said, you are the one that's supposed to be serving under the feet of your mother, not the other way around. So you take some responsibility for helping your mother around the house. Obedience. You know, a lot of other people want obedience. Your teachers want obedience. You have to do this, you have to do that. Fathers want obedience. We want things done this way, not that way. Mothers don't require a lot of obedience. They don't ask for a lot of obedience. They do everything for you. So willingly obey your mothers with the little few things that they might ask. Or just put your dishes away or do these things. Generally, mothers do everything for you. For you to obey them once in a while and just help out with the little things that they may ask, it goes a long, long way. Don't be aggressive towards your mothers. Many people find it easy, you know, oh mum, you know, some stories, Allahu Akbar, one of my teachers told me this, that once there was a policewoman, English policewoman, she comes into the mosque and she was talking to one of my teachers and she said to him, my daughter, I'm a policewoman. My daughter, I once disciplined her. I grabbed her and I just gave her a little whack, something like this, right? A little hit, just to kind of teach her a lesson. She goes, she's a grown-up daughter. She goes to the mother, who's a policewoman. Don't touch me, or otherwise I'm going to call the police. Her mother's a policewoman, and she's saying to her, don't touch me, otherwise I'm going to call the police. Children, you're laughing, but children threatening their own parents with police. Children shouting at their own parents, commanding them do this. And I'll say this one last thing. I've been a teacher in this school for 10 years. Some of the way that some of you talk to your parents on parents' evening, you wouldn't talk to your own teachers like that. You wouldn't dare talk to your own teachers like that. Answering back to your parents in front of your teachers on parents' evening, and then the next day when I catch those children, I'll like, you wouldn't have the nerve to speak to your teachers like that, but you speak to your parents. Your own parents, you're telling them, well, I wasn't there for the exam. I didn't do this. I didn't have time to revise. La hawla wa la quwwata. You wouldn't have the nerve to talk to your teachers and your own mum and dad who pay for you to come to this school. You showed them that level of disrespect. Nonsense, pathetic. You should be ashamed of yourselves. If you treat your parents with less respect than your teachers, what does that mean? That you respect your teachers more? Your teachers do more for you? Yes, your teachers do a lot for you, but not more than your parents. If it wasn't for your mother, you wouldn't even exist. If it wasn't for your father, you wouldn't even be able to come to the school to have a parents' evening too. So make this a lesson. No disrespect. Allah mentions in one verse in the Quran, wala uff. You are not even to say, oh. Even that, just that sigh, just that grunt. Doesn't, not even, wala uff. Allah doesn't even like that. Allah is not even allowing you to say that to your parents. You got a problem? Go upstairs. Go upstairs, put a bucket on your head, and then shout and scream into the bucket. Then take the bucket off. Then you go back downstairs to mum and dad. All right? Go and take some time out. But not wala ufyun. You're not even supposed to say this word of contempt. And lastly, I mentioned this last week about fathers. 3 very small little words, but they go a long way. Much more for your parents than for any other person. I love you. Sit. Parents don't want a lot. Parents don't want a lot. They love you more than you love them. 3 little words. The words are small, but the effect is big. I love you. If you really think about the last time you sincerely, not you just pass them, I love you, son and daughter, and you're like, yeah, I love you too. No, not like that. Oh, yeah, ditto, same for you as well. Oh, yeah, that's cool, mum, thanks a lot. No, sincerely. You go home, you look at them, you find them first, you see they're stressed out. Mum, dad, I just want to say, everything you do for me, I'm not grateful enough for having parents like you. Truly, mum and dad, I love you. Trust me, it might seem small for you, it might seem embarrassing. Get over it. That love that you show, those 3 little words, have a deeper impact than anything you can say. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to show respect to our parents, to give them the azmat and the maqam and the level of obedience that they deserve. Even if they tell you to do something wrong, like Azar was telling his son Ibrahim alayhi salam to worship idols, Ibrahim alayhi salam didn't get angry. He didn't start screaming. He didn't start yelling at his parents when they're telling him to do something wrong. He said, Ya abati, my dear beloved father. So even when your parents are asking you to do something that could be wrong, how wrong could it be? Are they asking you to worship idols like the father of Ibrahim alayhi salam? And even he showing respect to his father in that way. Nothing that your parents can do should warrant you being disrespectful. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.